Hello boys and girls. Today I'm going to read you a nice story. It's called Mabel's Magical Garden, and we're doing garden as part of our Aster theme this month. So this is Mabel's Magical Garden by Paula Metcalf. Mabel's garden was full of flowers. They gleamed in the sunshine. Every day, Nigel and George came to admire them. "I wish we had such beautiful flowers in our garden," said George. Look, there's Nigel and George, and there's Mabel, and she has some beautiful flowers. "They look like pretty jewels," said Nigel. This is Nigel. "They smell like perfume," said George. Sometimes Mabel's friends stayed all day. They had such fun. They didn't want to go home. Look, they're dancing, and they've made lovely flower crowns and necklaces and everything. They're beautiful. But one morning, George and Nigel didn't come. Mabel waited and waited, and then she went to look for them. She found them busy watering their own garden. Look, with the watering hose, giving the flowers a drink of water. So Mabel found them watering their own flowers. "Look," called George, "look at our lovely flowers." Mabel frowned. "They're not your flowers," she said. "They're mine. You must have stolen them in the night." "We didn't steal them," said Nigel. "They just appeared," said George. But Mabel did not believe them. Look, she was very cross-looking. That night, Mabel didn't get a wink of sleep. She was so worried about somebody stealing her flowers. So the next day, look what she did around her house. The next day she built a high wall all the way around her garden. Look, very, very high wall all the way around her garden. Look, you can just see the roof. It was too high for Nigel to jump over and too high for George to reach over, even on his tippy toes. But it was also too high for something else to get in. Something very important for flowers. I wonder what it might be. What would be important for flowers? Well, we know water is important because we saw Nigel and George on the other page watering the flowers. Something else is very important for flowers too. Let's have a look. Look. The sun. Oh no, look how dark it is in her garden. Here and here. Because the sun can't shine over the wall. So her flowers are getting no sunshine. Without sunshine, the flowers didn't look like pretty jewels. They didn't smell like perfume. She watered them. Look, there's her watering can. She sang to them. She even danced for them. But nothing worked. "Please get better," she whispered. Inside the wall, Mabel and her flowers grew sadder and sadder. Look, all her flowers were drooping. Oh. Outside the wall, something wonderful had happened. Nigel and George wanted to share the wonderful thing with Mabel, but the wall was too high for them. But it was not too high for the little bird. He flew up and he perched on top. "Mabel," he called, "come and see." She put a ladder against the wall and she began to climb. When she got to the top, Mabel couldn't believe what she saw. Oh, look! Oh my goodness! Thousands of flowers everywhere. Oh, they're so beautiful, gasped Mabel. But where did they come from? Nobody knew. Oh, look, they're so pretty and there's so many of them. Just then, there was a huge gust of wind. Look, everyone, look. Look. Look at the seeds flying. Mabel started to laugh. So that's how the flowers have been spreading. Yes, said George. And if we take the wall down, they will spread into your garden too. That's a very good idea. Brick by brick, they took down the wall. When the hard work was done, everyone sat down for a rest in the warm sun. So they took down all the wall so the light could go in, and they sat down then for a rest. They were tired from doing so much work. Aren't we lucky to have such lovely flowers, said Nigel. And, yes, and to have each other to share them with, said Mabel. I'm sorry. I thought you had stolen my flowers. I'm sorry. Then, to show how sorry she was, Mabel made the most delicious picnic Nigel and George had ever tasted. And as the sun went down, everyone admired the beautiful flowers. Together. Oh, isn't that a lovely story? So Nigel and George and Mabel and the bird, they all watched and enjoyed and admired the flowers together. So we know it's very important that flowers get sunshine and water to help them grow. Thank you for listening, boys and girls. Goodbye for now.